If you have trouble falling asleep at night, I might have found the cure. What's going on, guys? I'm Chris, and welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be giving you my review of Cry Macho, the latest Clint Eastwood movie that went to HBO Max and in theaters. A one-time rodeo star and washed-up horse breeder takes a job to bring a man's young son home and away from his alcoholic mom. On their journey, the horseman finds redemption through teaching the boy what it means to be a good man. So it's no secret that Clint Eastwood has been making movies for quite some time now. He's actually 91 years old, and he's somehow still going. Hats off to you, Clint. If you love it, man, keep doing what you're doing. But when it comes down to the actual movie itself, it's clear that Clint is 91 years old. Not only from a directing standpoint, but also an acting standpoint. But I'm going to get into all that in a second. Before I give you guys my in-depth thoughts, definitely hit the like button, comment your thoughts on Cry Macho down below, and make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on any future video reviews, trailer reactions, breakdowns, all that good stuff. So as unfortunate as it is, a lot of this movie just comes off as uninspired and lazy. Now, I've heard stories about Clint Eastwood just doing one take and not really caring about doing a lot of takes the older he gets, and that's very pertinent here. Now, the plot is very bare bones. It's basically just Clint Eastwood going to rescue his friend's son from an abusive mother, and that's pretty much it. We basically just ends up feeling like a long road trip movie with some of the most boring shots ever. You just get these long takes of cars driving through the desert and some country music playing in the background. What really doesn't help out with this movie is the terrible performances, like really bad line deliveries multiple times. Like the first 10 minutes of the movie, we're supposed to get introduced to the background story of Clint Eastwood's character, and it's just almost laughably bad. It feels like if I were to go to like an improv class myself and try and act. I'm not an actor, and I feel like I could have done just as good as some of the line delivers. Like, it genuinely felt like the dialogue from The Room at times when characters were trying to be so serious, and it just fell completely flat. It was really like a weird way to set up Clint Eastwood's character because he's just sitting there grunting, not really saying anything, and someone's basically just reading off a description of this guy's life. That's how we get introduced to the character. Very off-putting. And like any time Clint would be with a kid, it just felt like there was a complete disconnect between the two of them and there was really no chemistry. And it doesn't help that the editing even feels weird. Like, there's like a really strange scene from an editing perspective where you can tell they put multiple cuts together where one character will be talking and then he turns and like the audio just sounds completely different and like his inflections in his voice sound different because they clearly just meshed two different cuts together, and I feel like that's just sloppy and the lazy aspect of the movie. But when you throw all these elements together, the journey that we as an audience are supposed to go on is just extremely boring and uninteresting. Like, if I had to describe this movie, I feel like it's just a big day in the life video that's a total drag. And another thing that makes me laugh is how there's such random tonal shifts in the movie. For example, I'm gonna give you guys one scene. So we find out throughout the movie that Clint Eastwood's character is pretty good with animals. He can ride the horses and tame them. He even takes care of a goat that comes in. So this dude gets out of a car and he's literally approaching Clint in a very fast manner, like he's about to confront him, maybe pull a gun on him or try and fight him, and then he talks to him for like a second, and then he's like, I need you to look out for my dog. And it's weird because that's it. The tension deflates immediately. It's like the score was amping up for this big confrontational moment, and it's just asking Clint Eastwood's character to look over a dog. And while we're at it, there's just a ton of moments that are off-putting. Like, there's a scene early on that involves Clint possibly getting seduced by someone, and that's just extremely uncomfortable and awkward for everybody. I feel like this movie just makes you feel uncomfortable, but it's not adding to the story. It's not like some thriller where you're supposed to feel uncomfortable to add to the tension. It's just uncomfortable unintentionally. And the discomfort the movie creates and the awkward nature of it honestly made me laugh out loud a few times. Like, and it didn't help that the line deliveries were off and the whole entire story was kind of just bland, but I was laughing by the end of this movie at it, not with it. So by the time the movie wrapped up, I felt like I was just staring at a screen the whole time. Like, I was just sitting there watching. I wasn't gaining anything from it. There was no message to take out of it. And I feel like the actors and everyone who made the movie feels the same way. They're like, oh, let's just get this done. It's basically like going to a 9-to-5 and mindlessly working. That's what it feels like. That's what this movie does. There's nothing to write home about. It is very dull and lifeless, frankly. I can't recommend this movie to anyone. I'm going to give it a 1.5 out of 5 on my rating scale. I give it that extra 0.5 because Clint Eastwood does throw a punch in this movie, and there's a few moments where I was like, oh, this could be good in a few seconds, and then it fell off. But overall, I'm never going to watch this movie again, but if you really need motivation to take a nap or get some sleep at night, throw on Cry Macho. I promise you, you will doze off by the end of it. But it's honestly sad that it's been so long since Clint Eastwood has made a great movie because he's an Academy Award-winning director and an icon from an acting standpoint with those classic westerns, but his best days might be behind him from a filmmaking standpoint. So that's going to do it for my review of Cry Macho. Have you guys seen the movie? If so, let me know down below in the comments. I want to talk about it. I feel like not a lot of people even know this movie exists, and if it makes any money at the box office, it's probably just because Clint Eastwood's face is on the poster. Thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and make sure to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on any future video reviews, all that good stuff. And until next time, I'll see you guys later.